We just had to sue for documents related to the anti-Trump ambassador Yovanovitch, who was recalled by President Trump from Ukraine because there were issues about the way she was running and representing the United States in the administration. And one of the big allegations against her is that she gave a so-called untouchables list to a prosecutor in late 2016. And on that untouchables list was a founder of the Ukrainian group Anti-Corruption Action Center, which was funded by George Soros' foundations and the U.S. federal government. So did you know we have a joint partnership with George Soros in Ukraine, funding this anti-corruption group? As has been reported, the implied message to Ukraine's prosecutor was clear. Don't target this group in the middle of the American presidential election in which Soros was backing Hillary Clinton to succeed another Soros favorite, Barack Obama. And Rudy Giuliani has pointed out that this group was under investigation. This is what the issue was for misspending your tax dollars. And the allegation is that Yovanovitch went in and told the prosecutor, do not prosecute. So the left has pretended that this prosecutor has recanted, even though he didn't recant. And the argument is over whether he was giving a literal list or told. And of course there's an issue of translation because he doesn't speak English. But Lysenko recently told the New York Times that Yovanovitch pressed him not to prosecute anti-corruption activists. So you've got the New York Times confirming, by the way, reporting by John Solomon, who was spied upon indirectly, or frankly more directly, we'll figure that out, by Adam Schiff, on this Ukraine issue. Now, Antac was also tied up in releasing this Black Ledger material targeting Manafort during the campaign. So this is not some, quote, anti-corruption group. This was an anti-Trump group. Now, Yovanovitch denies that she gave him a list. Lysenko says, I was told not to prosecute these people. So we're asking for the documents, and of course, the State Department isn't giving us any answers. Don't you think it's important we get answers to this in a timely way? Because Yovanovitch's credibility is on the line. We're supposed to think that she's this wonderful ambassador, when in fact, the evidence suggests that she was running an embassy that was a hotbed of anti-Trump activism in Ukraine and tried to protect and promote leftist allies. And of course, Judicial Watch is the only one trying to get to the, well, not the only one, that's not true. People like John Solomon are asking questions. Of course, he's getting targeted as a result. But we're trying to get to the real truth about this Ukraine scandal. And the State Department bureaucracy is purposely, in my view, slow-rolling the release of key information like this to make sure that Trump gets impeached. They've known about this issue for years. We're not the only ones who've asked for the documents. You can bet it's already been gathered. They don't want to give them to us because it might help Trump. But we're going to sue. Or we already have sued. And we're going to keep on fighting. Similarly, the ICIG, whose name is Michael Atkinson. He's also former Assistant Attorney General in DOJ's National Security Division from 2016 to 2018. Why is he an important man? Because he's the man who worked with the whistleblower to push his information to Congress, contrary to what the law allows for and what he was directed to follow by his superiors. Now, what's curious is he kind of shows up all sorts of different places. Because when he was over at the Justice Department, he went over with Sally Yates to talk to the White House counsel at the time about Michael Flynn. Isn't that curious? He was legal counsel to the National Security Director at head, John Carlin, and later to acting NSD head, Mary McCord. Excuse me, McCord is the one who accompanied Yates to see the White House counsel regarding Michael Flynn. During the time Atkinson was legal advisor to Carlin and McCord, the FISA court found there were significant non-compliance with the NSA's minimization procedures involving queries of data. You know what that means? Americans were being improperly spied upon. And of course, during that period, they were spying on Trump. So he goes over to the ICIG, becomes ICIG. This guy, the CIA whistleblower, so-called whistleblower, who I consider to be a leaker, comes to him and says, I got this complaint. And the law reads that you don't have A, firsthand information, so it's not a real whistleblower complaint, and B, it's about the president's conduct of foreign policy, so it's not even covered under the whistleblower law, even if you had firsthand information. Nevertheless, he tried to push it out. So this lawsuit seeks his records as texts and emails back from when he was in DOJ. We asked for records about Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Anthony Weiner, on whose laptop Clinton emails were found. The 25th Amendment, because you may remember the DOJ gang was thinking of ways to overthrow the president even back then. Impeachment, Adam Schiff, and other things like his travel reports and calendars and other documents that will show us what he was up to while he was at the DOJ. So again, this is the guy at the center of the storm in the Clinton coup attack, or excuse me, yeah, it is kind of the Clinton coup attack, the Pelosi-Schiff coup attack. And he's been a deep state official involved with these questionable and abusive investigations, more than one, of President Trump. And you know what? His testimony to Adam Schiff in the coup is still secret. Isn't that interesting? So we're suing for that.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.